weekend.
Yeah.
She's been working on that for a month.
That's all, yeah.
Yeah, it was in my
We do so much of that.
Oh.
Steve and I just show up at the point, it's our vehicle, you know. We go
And I'm waiting for that from them because
We're not increased.
chat and catch a few people, but it's back to the point, isn't it? Lee told me. Yeah, so that we'll get more traffic, I think, this time. Last year was pretty quiet. With it being at, what was it, what's that called? Community, yeah. It was pretty quiet there last year.
But,
We used to have ice too, so.
February 19th.
Yeah, could be a good year.
They come and do
I didn't look at the
Mike
weather.
and Marcia.
Is it looking good? Is it?
See it, and
My
she's
phone
like,
says
"Oh,
they called it.
with everybody, I'm like,
It's
come on,
Saturday,
come on."
yeah.
Only three tonight. We don't need all
Wow,
that.
no.
Good. Matt's still there?
Matt, well, Matt's on the mechanical.
It's 3:00, we'll call order.
Where's Rich?
I thought he was moving me.
Approval of the events for January 7th, 2025.
So,
Motion by Mr. Kudo. I'll second it because you weren't here. And just so we know, Lois has got other commitments, she will not be here, Mike is on vacation, and we have a vacant seat, so Mr. Undershoot's vice chair is sitting in to form the quorum.
What's going on?
good job, everybody.
Okay, moving on, Rusk, restorative.
Rich is here, I don't know.
Youth programming.
We'll probably put out a welfare check if Mr. Dogger's not here. From our department, I think we'd have to do that, but
That's kind of rare.
it is very rare.
He was up in his office when I left, so I'm not sure.
Did he fall asleep?
I don't know where his phone number is, otherwise I'd call him.
239 is his extension.
Is it?
Let's,
Lori's here.
oh,
He's here.
let's move down to, let's see.
Hey, Justice Youth is wondering if you're coming down to the meeting. Okay, alright, sounds good.
We'll bounce down to number 5, circuit court.
Okay. I'm pretty quick. Should they help me write down?
Yeah, they can be going down to your standards.
Yeah.
So pretty steady.
Yeah, so that. Electric numbers, yeah, 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 like it might be over in one thing, but it's made up somewhere else. So we're gonna
Yeah,
do
it's
that.
over one way and then it ends, it bends down, and it
Yeah.
kinda went down.
Yeah, Mervin's pretty good, so that can help too. So yeah, I just wanted to update you on, where I'm at with filling positions in my office too. So Brooke started as the JAM on
was just on traffic safety yesterday. Talked to state patrol. And it's not just 27, 8 out that way. I think that passed, like, I think that's standing still.
No, I don't even like it.
So, I asked nicely to increase some of the patrol around here in the state highways.
So we may see those the next time I come, you know, so anyway, I just wanted to give you an idea of how things were, they're pretty steady, you know, for the most part, so, yeah, up a little bit.
Okay.
Anything you guys, questions of court?
I don't.
Nothing? Okay, that's all I got today, so.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lori.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks for coming to work, Chris.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go back up and
I
look
still
at
have
that.
to talk to you about health insurance. So many kids, so do I. See you later.
I know you're here, I'm gonna go up the list now, if you don't mind.
I don't want,
VA,
I was rude for being late, so.
that's fine. We knew it wasn't normal for you not to be here.
No, I know.
On that note, I need to apologize because I screwed up my day last month and I came down on Wednesday and you guys were already gone the day before, so I apologize for missing that completely.
It's
So,
been a year.
yeah, it's been a year. So for us, still full staff, everything is holding constant there. We did have a little bit of a windfall, in December, which was kind of exciting. The victim witness program at the state level, that is the part that reimburses national tuition, reached out to all of the victim witness coordinators with a possibility of a one-time stipend of $2,000 that had to be used specifically to, outfit or improve our waiting rooms or comfort areas for crime victims. So it was a rolling basis thing you could apply for, and that's what you were interested in asking for. It had to be something that wasn't already in the budget. She was approved for getting a refrigerator for the area, so we can have trials and stuff, not just what we can keep on hand, and ice packs or fruit, veggie trays, whatever we can. So they're actually able to get a refrigerator, a real-time translation device, and some lighting that isn't the overhead horizon lighting that we use for victims during trials and things. They approved that, and they actually refunded us $1,000 on the 31st of December last year, so those, they were all under $1,000, small items, but they still added up to that. They approved and reimbursed it by the end of the year, so we did that, that was a nice bonus we did not expect.
That's good.
Besides that, I did send out all our numbers yesterday. Nothing new or different on our budget.
Well, you're just pretty,
Pretty consistent
very
lately.
consistent,
Yeah.
but it's only February.
We do not have any jury trials scheduled in February right now, which is unusual and very welcome. But we do have 7 scheduled in March that span 12 days. So it is going to be a hectic month, and there is potential for additional witness fees and things that have been, but we settled before that too, so. But February at least looks good and quiet for us to keep figuring out everything next. Any questions at all?
On your, notes, just wondering, what, you have, a fidget tool,
Yes, so
and then a
that,
set of 3-legged trees?
yep, so that is that waiting room, comfort room funding.
Oh, that fell under that too?
So, yep, so it was, what she ended up actually getting was a refrigerator, a translation device, that's a real time, like, I don't know, it's a couple $100 that is.
So whatever I say right now translates.
Right,
immediately.
you know, it wouldn't be something the officers could use to stand up in court, but for members of family, victims and things like that, that can be a really useful tool for some of the other homes and everything. She also got some boxes for gift card storage, and those trees are, that's the lighting, that's the non-fluorescent lighting, if you have autistic or that kind of thing, where they don't like the fluorescent lights and use those. And then an adult fidget toy that's some kind of magnet sculpture thing, are the actual approved that helps us.
So they're not like they're like trees, they're not Christmas trees, or?
No, they just have a lighting feature on them,
Oh,
so it was
okay.
just instead of buying like floor lamps or whatever, then they can be moved around.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh,
So if that helps, that's a little expo.
oh, okay, thank you.
I know that it's kind of weird if you see it out of context, but the specific stipend was for furniture and technology. And these can be kind of harsh, I know they're wonderful for working in, but not so much when you're got a couple days to go,
Yeah.
waiting for your turn to pause, so.
Fair enough. Yes, it does, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Recovery court.
Whoa.
I'm gonna hand that out, that is, the detailed budget, for our, the grant that we just submitted for 2025. I was gonna email it, but I figured I'd just write it in. That way, answer any questions as needed, and Crystal left, so if you have any other major questions. So basically, the personnel is pretty much self-explanatory, and the state funding is monitoring.
This is okay.
Yeah, this is just the TAD grant budget that we set up to, for this next year. Doesn't generally any different than any other, request in the past, pretty much stays the same every year.
The only thing different that we had gotten in the past, which was kind of helpful, we got the packet with the breakdown of every individual. Like
Yep.
we got here, but we
Yeah, it
kinda
shows in the,
see
yep,
where it exactly went.
Yep.
So we can get that
yeah, I
saved.
can go ahead, I didn't know how much of it you wanted, but yeah, I can definitely, I'll email that, the breakdown to you then.
I would like to see.
Yeah,
it
because in that way it shows like the match for like this $11,000, it just breaks it down by the judicial assistant, the courtroom security, and all that, and then like same thing with the benefits. The match for the 26,000, that's, the judicial building costs, a percentage of the cost for operating expenses. So like, and then the consultants and contractual at $50,000, that's basically, the contracts that we have for like our family health center, our treatment providers.
Gardner will not, like, they don't like to gloat about themselves, but the sheer perseverance of those two and the participants were on display when this last participant graduated. For those that were there, for those of us that had seen her, if you were there, for those of those of us that saw this person in the jailhouse, in the jail setting from where they started, they talked about it that day. But I think it's important for this oversight committee to understand the strength that these guys and the team have put into this program, how it affects selfishly human services and children and family and all those kinds of things. But for that person to take a couple years, give or take, to get through the program was outstanding. And this program was in a little disarray for a while, but these guys got it back on playing with the team. And so these guys are not braggers about themselves, but they should be. And they should be also, really letting you guys know the importance of this program and what it means to the participants. And so I just wanted to highlight that because I know Angie is gonna have things for you guys and gals as this goes along in reference to what's really happening, the inner workings of the recovery court. But it should not go without being noted every time that they talk in this setting, because it's a very valuable resource.
And I agree with you 100%, this program has come a long way since they got into this.
I agree.
Because when the start of this committee, when I came on here, that program was being tanked.
Correct.
So they have pulled it completely out of the water and done very well.
And there's so much more to talk about. Again, there's only so much time at any given meeting, but Mr. Gauger is spearheading the CJCC and that initiative, which Recovery Court is just a small piece of that, but it's the importance of educating the board as to what it really does. And when you hear Recovery Court, people think, oh, what's the match money? How much do we have to put into this for this to be a part of the county system? But it's bigger than that.
Well, there's probably a savings in other HHS and jail.
100%.
They're all tied.
Time saved because.
Correct. And the money that you're putting in from a levy standpoint is just leveraging state PPR. And that's what really gives the nuts and bolts and the guts to the rest of the program to be able to operate that budget that was just given to you today. So.
And with that, when she graduated, we have a reporting system that we have to document all of our stuff with the Department of Justice. And one of the things that we have to document is prison days that were saved. We saved her from 3,757 days in prison. That's how many prison days, that's how many taxpayers' dollars saved by her participating. It was 3,000, and I could probably figure out, if I figured out what the prison bed day rate is, that's a lot of money that we saved by her not going to prison.
The other ones that,
One got employment.
Huh?
The one got employment, and we just went
Yes,
notified that
he
got employment.
got a job working, part-time, at the hotel down the bridge here. He's just working some part-time, right now, but yes, the other two are still there. And like I said, we accepted another person that'll be starting next week, and then another female will be starting probably a month from now.
yeah, fine.
So we'll have four. We had
Yeah.
one graduated, and we had one that we had to terminate. Sometimes it happens. We don't have so much.
It's ever changing, and I think, the uncertainty of the program is that sometimes folks have difficulty in recovery, and that difficulty sometimes has them away for a while.
Yes.
And sometimes it just means that particular program isn't specifically for that
Right.
individual. There was one person I know in drug court that I ended up terminated, and I would agreed with the termination, and today now, due to some other stuff, he's doing great. Just that program that worked for
Right,
him.
and it's not gonna
But then
work.
I've seen the other people where they were in it, they stayed with it, the person that just graduated, she's doing great. So
sometimes it's just point in time.
Yeah, it depends on, it's like different teachers work for different people too.
And then with that, we also have, two of the individuals that have worked in the Department of Justice will be coming to us to visit February 19th, they'll be coming to visit, participate in our meeting, and then, do our court hearing that day, and then they'll be staying with that afterwards, so answering questions that we have, they visit all, a lot of the court, so they're all visiting. Other than that, I will email you a breakdown of this.
Yeah, if you would
Yeah.
please.
And explain it a little more, I didn't know how much we wanted, so.
I don't know if I asked for it or if I mentioned it, so, yeah.
So that's what we got going on.
All right, any other questions?
What's that incentive group? 7 days in the bills?
Hmm?
Am I not looking at the right one? The youth extension, yeah, just. Highway, Eatontown,
Oh, that was,
or Northwood, I'm sorry.
that was a participant that had to be split up. So we put up some money for them for a while until they found a place to live. We had two of them. One was on a like a house arrest, so she fled. And then the other one did not have, he had housing arranged, but, he did his housing through Salvation Army. So we were waiting for the house to get finished before he was able to be in.
Okay, I want, cause I know, like, there's incentives, sometimes in drug court prices and stuff, so I saw incentive, I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't see that, so I have no idea what it is, but yes, the Highway Hotel, or the Northwest Hotel, we did have a couple of staying there, but nobody's staying in a hotel that we're paying for right now. So there's one staying in a hotel that's paying for it out of his own pocket.
That's allowable, granted.
Mhm. Yep.
Good, good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good work. Rich, CACC.
Good afternoon again, I apologize again.
You're starting to late, you're pizzas.
I'm gonna reflect that on team court, it just reflects upon what Lori said when she was on this, there's some significant increases. I have team court now, registration so far this year, not even through the first week of February, more than I had for the first week of July last year. Wow. I am putting out team court all the way through June, which is my major concern, getting too far out, and there's too much of an opportunity for these kids to get in trouble again before they actually get through the team court process. So I'm gonna involve Charmaine and see what days I can again get open for the senior and youth center, so I can add some extra days. My concern with that is, my team court panel, I can only, they've got other things going on in their lives, they're into 4-H, they're into sports at school, and school in general, so I don't wanna load them up too much either with adding extra days in there going forward. So right now, but the major issue, right now is, possession of tobacco products, meth, or not meth, vaping. So that is over 70% of the cases I got coming for. I got a big influx from municipal court for a while. Now, I haven't had anything from municipal court, probably in over a month, so, the vast majority has come through county court, and I've been picking up, I don't know, probably a couple of weeks going over through circuit court, and I can only, right now, can only run 2 a month, because of confidentiality, I can only run through one routine court at a time, it isn't like I can line them up in the hall and run through. So, that's what's backing me up, man. Teen traffic is, I've got more respondents in teen traffic right now than I ever have going forward since I've been in this book. A couple of reasons for that, I've seen new officers on the sheriff's department who are probably somewhat more, involved in traffic enforcement out there, so we're seeing more of those come forward. I've got, teen traffic set up, I've had to get a bunch of them through the victim impact panel, that's one of the requirements of teen traffic. The victim impact panel is where I bring in, a member of the rescue squad to actually kids themselves come in, they all have to participate in that, in addition to whatever their teen court assignments are. I've had some pretty good response on that. Parents are not required to come to that, but parents are always invited and welcome. I've gotten some real good response out of that on my feedback, on my evaluations going forward. But, this month I've got that coming in on the 12th. So I'm kind of reverse it, because some of my teen traffic court, they're not gonna go to traffic court until after their victim impact panel. Normally it goes the other way around, but to get this room, which I need for the video, and for my speaker, I can only run it about once every 3 months. So I wanted to get these kids through ahead of time so they can start working on the sanctions and what have you. But I've got 9 coming in for the victim impact panel, which is the most I've had in quite a while. And then I'm running teen traffic court on the 19th of this month, again, and I've got 7 coming in for that. Traffic court doesn't have that extreme requirement for confidentiality that, teen court does. Teen court are generally, a higher level of violations, so I can run more through at one time. The way I run that is I will have a member of the community, a member of law enforcement that had, state patrol, most of the sheriff's department send somebody in. I'll bring a couple of teenagers in to sit on the panel, and then they will hear about the violation, hear the, young respondent's reason for, or lack of reason, or doing whatever it is they did, and they decide what sanctions are appropriate going forward. Sanctions generally include some kind of research project. One of the most recent ones from a couple months ago that I kinda liked, it was passing stop school bus. The young person. So the kids decided that the sanction should be 3 ride-alongs with a school bus driver, and then file a report on any violations they saw during the course of that, not necessarily just passing a school bus, but anything. Oh my gosh, by the time I got his report back, it was 2 pages. Something he got back there, of course, that. He really didn't wanna go on that sanction to start with, but, he told me, he said, that you learn a heck of a lot better. So, that's pretty much where we're at. I'm seeing increases all the way across the board with teen. One of the issues is getting the fees paid. I've had to crack down more on it. It's a $35 fee, is compared to generally a $200 plus fine. And, you think they jump on that, but, I've had to crack down, so you're not attending teen court till the fee is paid. So I did some walking in the last hour of costs. But to the plus side, most of the parents now say, we're not paying it, you're paying it. That's pretty much where we're at as far as teen court goes. I'm running teen court right now the 2nd and 4th Tuesday, and of every month we're obviously gonna have to add an extra day in there for once in a while. I don't want that backlog to go anywhere near 6 months.
Vaping is becoming an issue. Where it is.
Well, it's a
Seems to
huge
get
factor
worse.
because
Is that affecting the traffic thing too?
no, I'm not seeing that so much, but one of the things that I always express to these kids, obviously they're not going into Walmart and buying their vapes. They're getting them from their friends who get them from another friend. And the question I always ask is, what's in them?
Yeah.
Well, nicotine, are you sure? Because we've had vapes show up with meth and fentanyl, not fentanyl in this county, but, they have been, but we've had them show up in this county with nothing. So these kids have no idea what they're consuming. They just trust their other kids, and they'll trust other kids more than they will their parents or their teachers or anything like that.
So they're so much easier to hide from the parents. Back in the day, a pack of cigarettes, you had to hide that smell. They're not that, they don't smell
Yep.
that much, and they're easy to conceal. You don't have butts laying around.
No.
And they're like,
And just, even if we assume it's only nicotine in there, by the fact that they're vaping, it is still much more dangerous than the cigarette would be. Yeah. And I start to, I get those reports from that all the time on the research, and that it's more harmful for your heart and lungs right off the get-go, and they say even one I wish some of these kids could have attended an autopsy or two that I went to, you know, and see the difference. The plus part of it is, Cheyenne McKenna comes in and does that escape with vape program there, and she's got the lungs that show, the actual lungs that show what they look like on a heavy tobacco user. And what happens is she's got the big lungs that simulate what it's like if you're vaping versus not vaping. That's a great program, it's really impactful, and anybody that's in charge of vape has to go through that program. Are they picking on you? You're an easy turn. Yeah. Well, I do have a bit, yeah. At our meeting this past month, again, Connie, thank you for CJCC, correct me if I'm wrong, but, some of the conversation came out, and John, you already took care of a big part of that, because it was voted that we draft a letter to the county board encouraging the virtual meetings. And the reason we were pushing the virtual meetings on CJCC is because it's a diverse organization involving people who are not county employees and not necessarily within the county. Melissa from probation, parole supervisor, public defender, some civilians in the community who can't necessarily make the meeting. So the fact that you guys went ahead and adopted that and allow the virtual meeting is gonna be a big, significant help for CJCC going forward. So that was one big project that was taken care of, and thanks so much for doing that. The second thing that we started looking at is, the district attorney, Mr. Kavanis, brought up his concern over the fact that Rusk County is not fully utilizing the Huber law, and perhaps cutting down on the jail populations. Those not familiar with the Huber law is, it allows with release for people that are convicted of crimes, and so we started doing some research. Melissa from probation parole reached out to a number of other counties to see how they were monitoring the program. I got back over with Waller County, now Waller County, southern part of the state where I came from, so the contacts are significantly different, but they actually have 70 people out on electronic monitoring right now in Huber down there. They've closed their Huber door at a considerable savings, utilize that for regular prisoners now, so big addition there, and training. So they're not doing that, and the way they run their program down there is, they have one deputy that does electronic monitoring, also administers random drug tests, monitors when they're at work and all that kind of stuff. So that, I forget when he sent me the savings, but it was a huge amount of dollars. The participants pay a fee of, I've had a number of it, comes to anywhere from $15 to $20 a month, but I think that the under sheriff down there told me it was $20 a month, or $20 a week, I'm sorry, straight that they collect for Huber fees, to do that, and pays the cost. And electronic monitoring, they contract, for a little more money. So
Our electronic monitoring policy is more restrictive than some of the others. I know Chipman's is less restricting on who we have to make this.
Right. So we're hoping to put together and do some research and, present to you guys some alternatives to that.
Be good, cause I mean, the person's still being monitored. And-
Right.
And then instead of paying to have them in jail, they're paying a fee to be in the program.
Yeah. And there are,
It costs.
Rusk County has some significant upfront fees to them, which, are fairly high, and I'm not sure that if I was in a situation, I could come up with that amount of money upfront, so that might have to be amortized somehow, or determine why that's going on. We've got a lot more research.
Garnishing a couple of wages or something, cause I mean, they're not gonna be able to without a job, so.
Right. And the problem is, if it takes them 2 or 3 weeks to qualify or come up with that money, well, they've already lost their job, that's, yeah. So, hopefully we can work together and work with the sheriff or whoever anything that you can recall, Connie, that we talked about? We talked about the drug court and what we're gonna look at is.
The only thing is, I know you guys are gonna come to the county board this month.
February, right?
Right.
On the
for-
25th, is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
And just kind of give a presentation to it, enlighten the board on what the CJCC is.
Right.
So, that's the one other thing that I think we missed.
And as a matter of fact, when I was late coming down here, that was exactly what I was doing, is kind of drafting out what I wanted to cover on that presentation.
What kind of time code you want for that?
Well, I guess the judge talked to you about it, and you said you were looking at maybe 10 minutes or less? Okay.
Don't just throw it at us and then walk out the door, because, I'm sure there's gonna be questions and explain it.
Let Tom not ask any questions and be a lot shorter, just restricted.
I think it's good to enlighten the board with the.
Now, can we restrict that to only questions that I can answer?
That's up to you. Other than that, no, I think you hit everything on the head.
All right.
So-
I mean, having said that, I'm maybe the least qualified person in Rusk County to head up CJCC, but, give it the best shot.
You'll do fine, that's what everybody tells me. All right, if nothing else.
Okay, all right, thanks, sir.
Thanks much.
Thanks, Rich.
Good afternoon. Extension of the Lori.
Howdy.
Good afternoon, Lori. How are you? It's a normal day.
No.
No.
She's got some out of county travel here for 2/25 for Markville, over a trip to Washburn County.
Yeah, she called me on two, I think.
I think that's what it was. And then February 26th for first ACCI. In the training Altoona.
Yep.
And then Eau Claire Extension Office, 124.
She didn't have a date on that, I noticed you didn't fill that out, so I just put the estimated mileage
So, total no.
on the bottom.
$245 for everything.
So, I'm gonna make a motion for the 242 out of county travel. Right? Or is it 245? Looking at it from upside down.
245.
245.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Evershoots, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Krull. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Out of county travel is approved. And I think that's about it. Thank you, Art. Trails and camp business.
Nothing really to report, lots of usage agreements are coming in, yeah. Pretty slow, until they get them opening.
There's most of the, is it mostly booked up for the year already?
Yeah, I'm booking into 2027 already. What is really challenging is 2026, the year after it's just insane. Figuring out what truly is the first weekend, what truly is the fourth weekend.
They're working right now.
Yeah, and I have so many groups wanting to overlap, and it's been fun.
You'll be fine.
You can tell.
I just hope I don't screw up a wedding. That's my biggest fear.
You'll get it.
But yeah, it's been a juggle, so,
Okay, moving on now.
That's a good thing.
yeah.
Moving on to fair business. Fair board report for your budget and contract and out of county travel. So if you do those,
Some of these just came in, so you might not have them. Like this one, I just got handed to
I
me.
guess I will have that one.
This is contracts though.
No.
Look at Jess, do the report first.
Mine was the Wisconsin Association of Bears Convention in the Dells back at the beginning of January. Came away with a lot of really good stuff. Breeze attended some of us, I've been there before, and they really, a lot of it was very, very good, so I anticipate we'll be going back, a bunch of us again. It's really good to network with other fairs down there, everyone's down there. Our fair just wasn't going for all these years, and so it's good. Everything is either been delivered or is ready for truck wagons. Steel is all here. That is done, fairgrounds are ready, windows are done. I just received the check today, so we'll pick those up probably next week. Awesome, it was a great deal for down there. Kinda interesting, this last week I had someone in the community say, I just drove by the fairgrounds today and it's really nice down there, but there's something that really stands out and really looks terrible. And I'm like, what's that? And they're like, that brown building. I said, give us a few months. It'll look better.
They were afraid of the truck ride.
Yeah, they're referring to the truck wagon because it does just kind of sticks out.
Come back in a couple months.
Yeah, that's why I said a few months, it'll look different. Just kind of planning fair every month here, we'll have a meeting coming up. Continue on, got a lot of good facts, I've been taking contracts, and she started today, new stuff that we have this year and some old stuff. But, I'm gonna do You see going bigger or kinda average, same size?
For the fair,
Okay, it'll grow again.
carnival,
Carnival, we'll see, what they decide, that is on the agenda, that's on Sunday date, we've done a lot of research. Don't have a lot of options, but we have made many phone calls, reached out to a lot of people. We'll see. We have a black eye in that part of the fair world, and so we're trying our best to remedy that and these companies to understand it's not the same as it was years back, and we'll figure it out. I don't know if that'll be next month, you'll know.
did you meet with personnel or property?
Probably this morning, I wasn't there, so.
Is that it?
That's all I have, just the contract.
Okay, fair contracts. This one is for the sled rental for the truck tractor pull. Same, group that we had last year, 2,100. Half Twisted, Half Not is our balloon artist. There's, one for each day. He's coming, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And he's giving us a discount. He did tell me at the fair convention that rates are going up. It's very hard to get some of his larger balloons. So he's like, since I've had you before, I'll keep the prices, but just an FYI, next year it'll be higher. So there's 3 of those, one for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, $1,000 a day. Always available seating. This is, where we rent those big bleachers for the rodeo. That is, with their discount, $8,200. They did go up, $1,000 since last year. This will be a new one, Bear Hollow Wood Carvers, 5,400. And, we already have some sponsorship for this event, came in today.
They are going to, they carve.
Chainsaw carving.
Chainsaw carvings, and they're going to do 12 carvings over the 3 days. They'll do 4 a day.
Yep, so
We get to retain those. We keep them, we can raffle them or.
Johnny's working on getting wood.
Over from the county force.
Yeah.
One out of his backyard, I think.
Yeah.
We actually have some,
Yeah, with Jared, he's got a lot of logs.
Right.
we have some lockers in the area that are, the sponsor, so it's been pretty interesting. It's been kind of fun. They're, I don't know, is it white pine?
Wait, yeah, white or red is fine.
Yeah, it says in here somewhere.
They're very specific on how they, the size and all that, so.
Logs must be within 20 feet of the show site prior to beginning each, oh, it says contact them for sizes and
Yeah.
accessible, or acceptable species.
They told us down there information about it. These are really fun. It's really fun.
And then, we have, Paint Me First, she came last year for a couple days, so she's gonna come, Friday and Saturday. She was unavailable to come Sunday. So, this is not a contract, she just sends an invoice. So she reached out to The Cheek Boutique, a coworker or whatever, and so this lady's going to come on Sunday. And that one is a total of 285. And then this just goes over all the rates and stuff. But I think that is it. Yep, that's all of them.
Do you want to do these individually, or do you want to do this all together?
There's nothing on, I mean, you could just do them all as presented or something.
Entertain a motion to approve these contracts that you just presented to us.
So,
Motion by Mr. Trudeau,
these are all budget.
second.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, second.
second by Mr. Hennessy, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Yes.
Thank you.
No, that's fine.
Just wanted to-
You asked for the discussion. We could have told you that or whatever.
That's fine.
Any out-of-county travel is oopsies, we did not do that in advance of the fair convention. It's already on your bill report, but this is,
saying, oops, please approve, so we can attach it then to, what's in my viewpoint already. So,
$12.69,
whatever's in your packet.
that's the one we got for out of county travel for the Wisconsin Association Fairs.
Yeah, there was hotel and, registration fees.
Oh, so, $12.69. And that was $4.75 for registration fee, estimated lodging, $7.94, $12.60.
Yep, that is it.
Entertainment, out of county travel. Motion by Mr. Undershoot, second by Mr. Trudeau, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carries for the out of county travel. Okay, that kills that phone call. Fairground business.
All right, so, you're gonna, I just wanna give you a little, since we have a newbie, welcome back. Just explain, a couple months ago, you guys changed some things with fairgrounds rates, and you're gonna need to, keep that in mind when we're talking usage agreements. So, what is new is you decided to now charge for equipment. So a security deposit of $250, that is just for equipment use only. And then a couple things are to be used on-site only, but, so I need to delete these because bleachers and canopies are on-site, so we don't allow that. So I did talk to John about that earlier. And then these are the new rates for the buildings for 2025. That was pretty much it, just, this is what we're going to charge for equipment. Now, this is not for people who use equipment and a building. This is just for stuff that walks off the fairgrounds.
Correct.
Okay, so 10 for picnic and plastic and $1 for chairs. So I just wanted to give you a little heads up. But now nobody really knows this unless they come to these meetings. So I went through everybody that requested equipment usage, which is all these people last year, and I drafted a letter, and so I will send it out to them, just stating, you know, what happened, or the change, and just to let them know. I'd rather they know in advance than, you know. So some people come in last minute and want approval, and we already have, one, you know, for today. So anyway, just to keep everybody in the loop, we're gonna do that. This is what the equipment usage form looks like. It's very similar to what it was before, it's just now the fees are over here. So I'll post this on the website, and, if you are okay with that, send that out tomorrow. So now that we have that fresh in our mind, let's do some usage agreements. Yeah, here we go. All right, so first up, this is equipment usage only. Ladysmith Lions, they're requesting 6 chairs, 6 garbage cans, and 12 plastic tables. So, so what I need for you to decide, and maybe you wanna do these individually, do I charge security deposit? Fees are $120, and then I also have to determine if they're tax exempt or not. Are you guys tax exempt? No? Okay, all right. So, if you can, you know, I have them all here, make those decisions right now. I know with buildings, usually you don't charge a security deposit, for like people who return, sometimes you do, so, I would rather it get discussed in a meeting, so then I'm very clear on what I need to do, when I send out the confirmation and invoices.
What have you done in the past?
We've never done equipment, we've never charged for equipment.
Oh.
So this is brand new. This is brand new.
It's a Lions Club, it's got
This is for fun on the frozen, just for some chairs and tables. We don't charge for the garbage cans.
So is this on the one that you have here, where it only says 6 garbage cans, but there's actually, they want 6 chairs and 12 tables?
Yep.
Okay, so those are
Same
additions.
thing. Yeah, the one up here is just my chicken scratch, so, cause
there's another one in here, it's got the same deal.
but that's later, that's for the circus.
So we're talking about, look at the one for the dates of 2/14.
I just wanna be clear that there isn't a
2/17.
duplicate of
Yep.
something to that
Yep.
nature.
Yep.
This one here, this is the first page.
Yeah, the 2/14 to
Third
2/17.
page in the packet. On the back.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There, I'm sorry, there it is.
I was on the wrong one too.
I know, I filled in the other one with that.
You have a recommendation on anybody?
It is more work for me to refund security deposits, but,
No, it's not leaving, is this leaving ground or no?
yes,
This
this,
is leaving the ground.
yeah, the only time you charge for equipment is when it's just equipment usage and it leaves the ground. So this is brand new, you've not charged it before.
Correct, and this is where the issue comes in.
Could you add 6 picnic tables to that?
Sure.
I thought I had that on there, but
12 plus 6?
6 picnic tables.
Yep. Plastic tables are 12.
Oh, I see, okay, I'm sorry.
So that would add 60, so it'd be 180 plus tax. I have to find out from Corp Council if I have to charge tax, but they're making me back tax out, or charge tax on everything, so I'm just assuming the worst.
Are you worried about people not bringing back equipment?
It's already happened.
Has it?
Well, some equipment's been destroyed, but,
And it's not line post, I'm not saying it's a line post, let's just be clear of that, I'm not saying it's that.
but,
Well,
all,
they're here, so we just blame them anyways.
all the tables have been painted and they're numbered, so the guys will keep better track of who has what tables, you know, things like that.
In my opinion, we've made it firm to make the security deposit for a reason. And if we start bending, then we're just gonna have to pay for everybody.
So we're talking that 186 for equipment and 150 for the security deposit, is that correct?
No, 250, you decided 250 for security
Oh,
deposit.
that's 250, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
And they get it back when the equipment comes.
yes,
So
yes, it's just weird, cause I'm gonna charge them a security deposit and their fees all at once, but,
Well, that's no different than checking into a room and you.
yeah, just, it's just a lot different than Trails End. Trails End, I get their stuff way, way in advance, you know, so,
Unless there's any easier way you wanna do this.
So for this particular event, then it'd be like 486?
300, 480.
480?
Yes, it's 180 for the equipment.
Oh, the chairs are,
no,
You think
I knew I
average,
should have brought a calculator.
you got $6 for the chairs?
2, 3, 4, 430. So,
So this is 186, right?
it's 250 for a security deposit, it's 180 for fees, because it's $6, 6 chairs at $1, 6 plastic and, picnic tables at $10 is 60, 12 plastic tables at 10 is 120.
So that's 186.
Oh my god, yes it is, 186, I'm sorry.
It's been a long day.
I'm
You think-
sorry.
you think charging the security deposit, on small stuff like that discourages people from borrowing equipment for events?
Right, they get it.
I think it encourages them to return it.
If they get
That's the
back.
whole thought process.
They have to remember, you get that. So, the point of this is, and again, this does not reflect on the Lions Club or anything in the past or future. The point here is when things do leave that grounds, they leave in great shape, so to speak, and come back broken, busted, and or don't come back at all. So.
Replacement costs on that even just this little one would be more than $250, so.
Correct, but, you want us to raise it?
Well,
Please no, just be consistent, you know,
So it,
but
you,
we just-
you moved to do a security deposit, just be consistent.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
we need to be consistent here.
All right.
We cannot go sideways and start playing this.
For this event, it's 436.
Yes.
When everything comes back, they get 250 back.
Correct.
We moving on?
Yep.
We good with that? Okay. Well, unfortunately, I'll find out about the tax thing, I haven't asked Rich Summerfield yet. All right, then we go to Culpeper Merriweather Circus. Now, this is not the circus that comes almost every year, that's in the multi-purpose building. This, they have a big tent, they'll be in the central area, and they need somebody local to like, do the tickets and things, so the Lions are sponsoring this. Last time they were here, it was the Sons of Ambets. So,
So they set up on the fairgrounds with the tent, but they don't use any of the buildings.
right, but they are in the central area, so, there is a charge for that, it's $300.
I was told there was no charge last year, did that change?
Central area's always had a charge.
Sons of Ambas didn't pay last year.
Right, that event got, came and, got free. They did not have to pay, but that was not because there wasn't a fee incurred, but where they were going to be, there was no designated really area on the map, and now anything in these little lines are now considered central area. But there was always a fee for central area, always.
How come they didn't pay?
The dweebs,
That's kinda why we agreed to take this on, because the Sons had told me they didn't pay for the fairground.
yeah, well, they, 3 different organizations apparently was going to sponsor that event, and, they came and, you know, say, hey, it's a fundraiser, but this committee then, you know, I mean, there's a cost incurred to every event out there, there's garbage, there's porta potties, there's electric, all of that, and this committee is trying to recoup some of those costs. But last year, the rate was $150, so that's what would have been waived, last year. And I did tell the circus when they contacted me, I'm like, whoever you get, there is a cost to this, $300 plus tax. So he was well aware of that.
I wasn't.
Is there a deposit then, what that goes with that too as well, or no?
No, nothing's leaving the ground.
Okay, I was just wondering.
But unless I'm.
Okay, so
Turn.
we're back to buildings. Buildings, there's a $500 security deposit. Now typically, you don't charge that for repeat users. Some you do, some you don't, so that's why I'm gonna ask you every time, do you want me to charge it, cause lines get changed quite frequently. So,
Is the central part of it.
Yeah.
And no buildings are involved, so.
We got 150 to 300.
so on this one, no,
This one I wouldn't require a
Okay.
security deposit because they're not using any buildings.
okay, right,
So it'll just be the 300 plus tax.
and then, equipment usage, we're not going to charge, we wouldn't charge anyway for garbage cans. Do you think you might want picnic tables or seating or no, okay,
Garbage cans.
okay.
6 gonna be enough?
Huh?
6 is gonna be enough? Are 6 gonna be enough?
I would think so.
Okay. If not, those are easy to find,
Say
and
if not, just
put out at the last
see
minute.
something, we'll bring more.
Okay, then we have Olivia Andrews' graduation party. This is for, the Log Building. And, the cost of that is $300 plus tax. She is not, this is Shayna. She's our chuck wagon cook. So she, is her,
Oh, that's her daughter.
It's her stepdaughter.
there you go, yes, so, she's gonna make that building better than, it was before. It'll be cleaner, it'll be whatever, so, I'm not worried about a security deposit on this one. But that's your prerogative, but fees are 300 plus tax.
Here, but
so.
we can't be splitting hairs like this.
Yeah, I
Then,
think
then
you gotta-
just, I'll charge it to her and
We have
300
to.
plus tax.
We have to, because we're gonna split hairs, then we're gonna have to split it all the time, so we have to stay consistent.
Okay,
Otherwise, there's gonna be
Yes,
this person,
yes,
how
yes.
this person.
yeah, but we're not gonna charge them for any of that because she's
It's on-
renting a building.
It's on the grounds.
Correct.
Yep, right, yeah, that's one, the easiest way
Yep.
to think of that. Alright, Dodge County Canine Club, we've talked about this, you guys approved a rate, it's just we did not have the usage agreement when we were talking about it, so, this one, they are sending me a security deposit, and the agreed upon price is 2,500 plus tax.
Like an event calendar for the fairgrounds?
I do,
Show the
yep, it's on
different-
ruskcounty.org/fairgrounds.
We need to vote on this one, or.
What was the security deposit on that?
$500.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's-
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to do them all, or,
No, that's fine,
Yeah,
I'm just, I'm
okay.
keeping track.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yep, go ahead.
alright, so yes on that one, the fees are 2,500 plus tax.
Yep.
I don't, is anybody with a pony club? So this one you guys did not talk about last month, your fees say, 100% youth participation events are exempt from fees. This is a youth organization, but it is not 100% youth participation. They say in order to make their, break even, they have to have some adult participation. It is very low, but I have no idea what the percentage is. Just so you are aware, with the fees that you, set, it is $1,050 a day. When I figured it early, Johnny, I missed that, they want the round barn, which is $300. They want the horse arena and concession, which is $300. And then the 3 horse barns are $150 each. So that is $1,050 a day, times that by 4 days, that would be $4,200. I got a feeling if they'd get that invoice, they're probably not going to come. But I was hoping they'd be here and talk about like percentage, you know, like, oh, it's only 5% or something. But so I don't know what you wanna do with this one.
Is that one in our packet?
It was last month.
Was last
Yes,
month.
they came last month, they did a presentation, but then the fees did not get
They're
discussed.
supposed to come back this month.
Yeah, so, and then the other one, this one here is 5 days, so
Bring it back next month.
so 5 days of
Talk
this
to them,
one
maybe
would be
one.
$5,250.
Back, they have that show.
They're not gonna go to that,
No,
so they'll probably have it at her farm.
well, I was hoping we could talk and negotiate either, you know,
25% adult participation.
we've had a couple fairgrounds, user meetings, stakeholder meetings. They've not participated in those, but the whole idea, what we've been working towards for the last several years is trying to get people to help out, to volunteer, you know, different clubs, if you need a wash rack, you know, fundraise, do it, you know, I mean, there's so many buildings out there, the fairgrounds budget just can't maintain it all, so, and there's a lot of usage out there, a lot of different groups, so,
Okay, so here's my proposal. Bring it back next month, reach out to them, and that's the last time we're gonna talk about this.
okay,
Because we've been at this now almost 3 months, if not longer. So I'm giving them one more term.
okay. So no action on those two.
Okay?
But I don't know if you need to talk to them, they're not gonna bring it back again. Not back in the month.
Mm-hmm.
On which two are you not taking action?
The two Blue Hills Equestrian Pony Club,
Okay.
from last month.
Okay. I didn't know there was two, sorry.
Okay, so that's it for contracts?
Mhm.
Okay, so all the contracts that we just went through, what do you have, any motion for approval?
Mhm. Minus the two.
Minus the two, Blue Hills,
Equestrian Pony Club, BHEPC.
sure. Motion by Mr. Undershoots, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Kuro, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries to approve the contracts excluding Blue Hills and Q or E, I can't say that word.
Blue Hills Equestrian Pony Club.
Sure, okay. Three times. All right,
Probably could, but I don't know. I can't count, so don't challenge me too much.
No, it's ad.
Yeah, well, that, yeah.
is that it for the fair?
Yeah, unless you have any questions.
I do not, yeah.
Okay.
Phil? Any questions?
There was an addendum. You wanna talk about that?
Yep, I see that, I was gonna go to that. So, anyways, the addendum is, we discussed this at property this morning, and Miss Ashley's not in here, but Charmaine can help us. The two committees, property and JYD, each have a section that overlap each other with the same language. So, the idea is to pull out some of the stuff in this JYE and put it into property to clean this up, because everything she just said it for the fair side of it, I already heard this morning. So this is my second term, but, so, I guess what I'm trying to say is, we're gonna bring this back to JYE once we clean the language up and property, and propose what we wanna pull out and move to one side or the other.
So is he gonna go to one or the other?
Correct.
Okay.
Either we're gonna leave it the way it is, or we're going to
Yep.
clean the language up and put it into property where some of that stuff probably should.
Does it have to stay no matter what property?
Pardon?
Does it have to stay no matter what property?
Once we move it there, but then we have to change the ordinance based on the language,
Right.
how they cross each other.
So right now, Jessup is an extension, the way, not the way it's written in the code, but the way we work it, is that this committee only talks about usage. We don't do buildings and any of that stuff.
Right.
So I try to just stick to usage here. Well, then in property, we talk buildings, but a lot of times, certain things intertwine, they overlap, they affect one another. So sometimes we do have the same conversations, but right now, with the code of ordinances, property oversees both Trails End and Justice Use and Extension does, so, you know.
Kinda like double code.
You know, so it's the usage in the buildings is not in the language, it just says overseas. And with Trails End, you have the Board of Trustees, which one member is appointed by Justice Youth and Extension, so it's gonna be easier to move one than it is the other. But there has to be some conversation, and I don't have the code of ordinances in front of me,
Right, so what I'm,
so we'll
what
get
we're talking about is
together and.
we're gonna bring it to the next meeting, clean this up, see which way we wanna go with it. Same way with property, it's gonna be proposed the same way to property as it is to JYE. So everybody's on the same page. There's no action, we don't have to take no action on this, we're just making you aware of what we're looking at.
Or if you have any suggestions,
Or
but we are kinda
if you have any suggestions.
short on numbers today, so.
Yeah, and you may not be here next year, so.
Oh, so he's not on so,
No, he's not, he's filling in
Filling in
because
to make the quorum.
to make, to fulfill the quorum.
well, thank you. So I thought you were back on,
So you don't have to reschedule the meeting.
yeah.
So that being said, is there any other questions on that? If not, we can move on to the, bill report. Anybody have questions on the bills?
I just have to ask, please, I haven't asked. I only had one and I just already asked.
Oh, she was showing the sheets, did you have a chance to look through that? Did you have any questions or anything?
I didn't have any questions.
I'll entertain a motion to pay the bills.
Not my motion.
Second motion by Mr. Cooley, second by So fellas, you wanna join, that's when I'll be.
Ash Wednesday. Is your what Christmas? I know, live up.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. 4:16.
Thank you, can you guys sign that one too?
Oh, yeah, you're asking a lot.
Phil, we're gonna have to sign these too.
Oh.
Just gonna have to talk about. Cross out these names.
The top one signed?
Yeah, there's print.
Is this the top one?
Yeah. All those,
Yes, I know.
so you guys change it, yeah.
These are, these need to be signed, I need to sign these?
Yes, those are the fair contracts. That's on the back page of it, just put that over.
When's the snow gonna start? Laura? When's the snow gonna start?
I can date them for you if you just wanna do your thing.
That'd be quick.
That's on the back page of that one.
Should be though. What's that?
I was just curious how, is there an official date you actually start with the pitch virtual?
March 1st.
March first, okay, alright, I probably heard that before, but, thank you.
Yep, nope, not a problem.
Looks
I think
like
it's in the
it's
resolution that's online.
9 PM,
At the back of that one.
9
Oh,
PM.
oh, that one was not a double-sided one.
And then my question, one of them starts again at 1 AM.
And that's it, because those two you guys did not act on.
Oh, it's supposed to be 1 to 2 today.
You're just acknowledging it.
Alright, so, good.
A few signatures.
Johnny, how'd you find this guy? That's pretty cool.
The
Yeah,
wood
what
carver?
Garver, he was at convention.
Yeah,
What's he made?
Well, you'd have to look at his website. You should look at the giant, beasts or whatever they call it, they make huge Sasquatches.
Really?
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I think I got a watch card.
if not, I know where to find you, thank you.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, you need help?
You're right.
Yeah, I know.
Don't get
The
so.
forestry department right now probably borrowing a couple logs out of the county.
Can you come to the dinner?
No, I got some by my